on Phenomenal Disabilities with Trilo. Today's guest is Dr. Laurie Weiss. She'll be discussing her books about relationships as well as anxiety. And she'll be offering the world some insights on how they can navigate effectively among each other. Stay tuned. Honestly, I want to be able to, discuss more about your books and especially about anxiety. Can you discuss why you wrote that book specifically?
Well, the process that I wrote about is called logosynthesis, so I use that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I experienced that in a very unusual way. I was at a restaurant with friends, and the noise was overwhelming. And I was very, very tense. Not only that, I couldn't eat the food. They kept bringing out food that burned my mouth and saying, "Oh, it's not hot."
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody else in the party ate, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I left and I was very, very tense. It was very noisy.
Yeah.
I left as people were paying the check since I didn't have one and my husband was there anyway. And I decided to go outside and calm myself down, which I did. And I don't know whether you've talked about EFT tapping.
Mm-hmm.
Many people do that.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. I did deep breathing, and I thought I was just fine. And a friend came out and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Absolutely, yes, I'm fine." And he said, "Tell me exactly what happened." I said, "Well, at one point, my body kind of went, and I clenched." And he said, "Well, will you try an experiment with me?" And I said, "Sure." I had only known the man for 40 years, and he's a psychiatrist. Glad to try an experiment with him.
Right.
And he had me say some words, repeat after him some words. And I felt an incredibly profound relaxation,
Mm-hmm.
way beyond what I had felt.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sort of, is this the thing that you've been talking about that didn't make any sense to me? He said, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to learn this.
Especially a lot of my guests that are, they're I I literally have guests that are all over the world, from Africa, from New Zealand to, Asia, all over the world, and I'm really so happy that they're, really hearing the show, and especially shows like this episode, that can help them, guide them to wherever mental disabilities are going to, even marriage, you know, uh, you know, uh, ups and downs we go through. I was once married before. I was in a long-term relationship, so I understand those ups and downs, and you're shifting through it and trying to navigate and trying to, either be better, or if you don't be better, you kind of go, okay, how do I learn to, navigate to leave, and you go through that process within yourself.
Absolutely. One of my books, as you mentioned that, um, I did some research and I asked women all over the world, first of all, have you ever been married? And second of all, what do you wish you had known before you were married?
Mhm.
And I put that together in a book. It's called Being Married: Secrets Women Wish They Knew.
I always ask my guests this last question, and I want you to kind of just, you can use one sentence or two. Can you tell the world what disability isn't to you?
What disability is or isn't?
To you, isn't.
Okay. What it isn't is an excuse to treat people as if they are less than other people, if they are other abled, and see the world differently and approach the world differently.
Well said, well said, well said. Well, on that note, everyone, this is Phenomenal Disabilities with Trilo. And I want to thank you again for being on our show, Laurie. And our audience, thank you for tuning in the show. Until next time, this is Trilo with Phenomenal Disabilities. See ya.